good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We spent the night at a Safeway parking lot here in Carmel, California. Caramel?
Maybe.
Carmel.
But I do know it's just south of Monterey.
And Audra is in desperate need of some Wi-Fi, so we found a nearby Starbucks, and she's able to make some posts, get some work done, before heading south to Big Sur today.
When we asked other travelers for recommendations along the California coast, many answered that we shouldn't miss a drive along the Big Sur coastline. Big Sur is a dramatic stretch of California's central coastline between Carmel-by-the-Sea and San Simeon, where the Santa Lucia Mountains rise steeply from the Pacific Ocean, creating one of the most scenic drives in the United States. Known for its rugged cliffs, redwood groves, and panoramic ocean vistas of brilliant blue water, the area includes iconic viewpoints, state parks, and natural landmarks scattered along the winding coastal highway, but remains largely undeveloped, preserving its wild and scenic character. The Big Sur coastline stretches approximately 90 miles and offers some of California's most breathtaking shoreline. So we just started driving south, heading to Big Sur, and we saw a rainbow, so we had to pull over and check that out. Our first stop was Garrapata State Park in the Carmel Highlands. The park features a mix of rugged shoreline, hidden coves, and inland trails that climb through coastal sage scrub and redwood groves in the nearby canyons. We started getting concerned about our plans for the day when we started seeing dark clouds and raindrops hitting our windshield. But thankfully, it seemed to be just a passing shower. The skies cleared just in time for our first hike of the day. The Soberanes Point Trail, part of Garrapata State Park, offers a short but breathtaking coastal walk where rugged cliffs meet the open Pacific. Beginning just off Highway 1, the trail winds through grassy bluffs dotted with wildflowers, gradually rising to sweeping views of turquoise coves and crashing waves below. On clear days, the views stretch dramatically in both directions, and migrating whales can sometimes be spotted offshore. The path is well-defined, yet feels wonderfully wild, with ocean breezes and the scent of coastal sage lingering in the air.
All right, so we are on the Soberanes Point Trail. It's Steve approved because it's labeled as easy and 1.6 miles.
I tried to find hikes that he approves of.
Though relatively easy in less than a few miles round trip, the trail delivers some of Big Sur's most rewarding scenery.
There were several people that told us the Big Sur area should not be missed, and I'm so glad that we came down this way, even though it's a detour for us. We're barely even into the area, and it's already so beautiful. Also really glad that the sun has come out. It's gotten a lot nicer. We had to shed some layers, but it smells amazing with all the plants. The views are amazing, and look at these clouds. Kind of reminds me of the Caribbean a little bit.
Oh, look, Jeeve and Chaudra. That was a very nice hike.
Steve approved, huh?
Yep.
Would you go as far as to give it 5 vans?
I would.
Like right here, maybe?
All right, I think we found ourselves a nice spot to have some lunch.
Notice how polite Steve's being today. He is cutting up his carrots with scissors instead of chomping on them. Some of you might know that he's pretty good at chomping on carrots.
After a nice break for lunch, we continued making our way south. The Pacific Coast Highway, California State Route 1, also known as the PCH, is a legendary coastal road that runs for 655 miles, connecting dramatic cliffs, beaches, and seaside towns along much of California's shoreline. Construction of key sections began in the early 20th century, helping connect previously remote coastal communities. Built to provide transportation, commerce, and access to the state's rugged coastline, the highway quickly became famous for its sweeping ocean views, steep drop-offs, and engineering feats carved into the mountainside. Today, it remains one of the world's most celebrated scenic drives, drawing travelers eager to experience California's wild coastal landscapes from behind the wheel. Many sections of the PCH hug steep cliffs, revealing sweeping views of the Pacific far below. Each bend unveils a breathtaking new perspective: rocky headlands battered by surf, quiet coves tucked beneath bluffs, and broad horizons where ocean and sky almost blur together as the sunlight dances and reflects on the surface of the water. Driving the legendary Pacific Coast Highway along the Golden Coast is an unforgettable journey, and this section along the Big Sur coastline did not disappoint. We stopped at yet another overlook with incredible views. Here was a perfect example of the ocean and sky seemingly blurring together on the horizon. The views were absolutely mesmerizing. Another stop, and more stunning views.
What is going on here? Huh? What is going on here?
Road closed. How bad could it be? What if we backed up, got a running start, and attacked it like Dukes of Hazzard style? Think we could clear it? Keep on moving south?
We're starting to make our way back towards Carmel now, but we're planning to make a few different stops, and this one is McWay Falls. Pretty neat view.
McWay Falls is one of the most iconic sites along the Big Sur coastline, where an 80-foot waterfall spills year-round from granite cliffs directly into a small cove below. Located within Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park, the falls are easily viewed from a short overlook trail just off Highway 1. Framed by rugged coastal bluffs in the vast Pacific Ocean, McWay Falls is one of the most photographed scenes in California. Our drive along the Big Sur coastline took us approximately 50 miles from Carmel-by-the-Sea, just past the Slade's Hot Springs before the Lime Creek Bridge, before we could go no further. Landslides have plagued the Pacific Coast Highway up and down the Central Coast in recent years. It has not been possible to drive the entire length of the Pacific Coast Highway since January 2023. The end of the road for us was due to Regent Slide, a massive movement of earth that closed a 6.8-mile section of the road in February 2024. Crews worked for months to clear debris, stabilize hillsides, and rebuild damaged sections of pavement, often facing challenging conditions due to the narrow roadway and sheer drop-offs. The closure disrupted travel along this iconic stretch of California's Central Coast, impacting tourism and local businesses. After our visit, the route was finally reopened, while ongoing monitoring continues to protect against future slides. On our way south, we hadn't seen a place to park near the iconic Bixby Bridge, so we stopped on our way back north at the Castle Rock viewpoint when we spied some open spots along the road. Bixby Creek Bridge, commonly known as Bixby Bridge, is one of the most photographed landmarks along California's Highway 1. Completed in 1932, this elegant concrete arch bridge spans Bixby Creek Canyon and rises more than 260 feet above the rugged coastline below. Its graceful single-arch design was considered an engineering achievement at the time of construction and helped connect remote coastal communities that once were difficult to reach. Framed by dramatic cliffs and sweeping Pacific Ocean views, Bixby Bridge has become an enduring symbol of the scenic Big Sur coastline and a favorite stop for travelers exploring the area.
Found a nice spot. We're going to hang out here for the rest of the day, catch the sunset, make a little bit of dinner.
Well, this is pretty.
The seemingly endless views here and the sound of the crashing waves were mesmerizing. We're continually in awe of the rugged beauty of the Pacific Coast and how much it changes as we travel mile after mile exploring this amazing place.
The spot where we are now is where we started out this morning on our first hike, and it's really nice because there are several spots you can pull off, and there's a nice path that connects everything with really nice views along the water. It's a really pretty area here, especially with how the mountains come down to the water. And then all the cool rocks and formations. Very pretty. We have had a really nice day today, and now we have been enjoying the sunset and cooking up some dinner. Tonight on the menu is Mexican. Alright, dinner time. Kind of looks like dog food, but it's good. Always the best part, the guacamole. A little dollop of sour cream on top. You haven't had Mexican in a while. Morning, you guys.
Good morning, everybody.
We parked at Safeway last night again, and it's a pretty nice place to park. Relatively quiet, and then it's always nice when you get up in the morning to have a grocery store to be able to go into. So we took care of some business there, and shh, don't tell anybody, but I also bought an apple fritter. And now this morning, we have quite a drive. We have to do a detour because of Route 1 being closed. We had to drive about 5 miles north on US 1. Now we're driving inland. We have about 2.5 hours to get to Morro Bay. And we are currently just driving by fields and fields of farmland. We can see lots of produce growing and lots of people harvesting. It's just kind of interesting driving through this area.
So yesterday we had a nice day driving south on Route 1 down to the Big Sur area. What did you think?
Well, it was definitely a bummer that Route 1 was closed partway down. It would have been a much better experience if we could have driven down to Big Sur and then kept going. So for us, it really meant a pretty big detour. Yesterday we drove about 45 minutes south, and then we had to head back north and then detour a little bit more. And then today it's a longer drive to continue on Route 1 further south. As far as the area itself, you know, like I mentioned, lots of people said, oh, don't miss Big Sur. I am glad we went down. I enjoy any time we are sightseeing, and everything was beautiful. But if you're traveling and you're limited on time and there are still road closures, I would say it probably wasn't worth going all the way down as far as we did. The first area we stopped at to do the hike was actually pretty far north. I think it was just 10 minutes south of Carmel. And to me, that actually sufficed for a taste of that area. I felt like that looked just as nice as other areas we saw as we drove south. But it was a beautiful drive. Just that there are just so many places to see that are beautiful. I don't know that it's really that much better or better than so many other places we've been.
I would agree. I think we've been blessed with the opportunity to drive down the coast. So I'm not sure that yesterday's drive was any better than the 1,000 miles that preceded it. I'm glad we did it. But I agree with Audra. I think we could have just done that first hike and then turned around. But I'm glad we did it.
As we travel, we always have to pick and choose what we do and see, because we're limited with time, unfortunately. We can't see everything. A few people had highly recommended Point Lobos, which was also just south of Carmel. We passed it while we were driving. and we did consider doing that. We actually even thought about doing it this morning before we got on the road, but it was $10 to get in there, and we looked at pictures and we thought it really didn't seem at least that much different than other things we saw yesterday. So we chose to forego that, and now we are heading to Morro Bay, and partly just because we need to keep moving, but also the draw there is more sea otters. We loved seeing the sea otters back in Monterey. We didn't get as close up as we would have liked to a mama and her baby. I'd love to see some more close up. So we are really hoping we'll get to experience that there. There are also some other really pretty things to see, and then some other nice things in the area as we continue south. After 2+ hours, we are back on Route 1.
This is where we're going to leave you for this episode. If you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron by using the link on the screen that we've also included in the video description, along with information about today's adventure and our channel. A special thank you to all our patrons. We appreciate your ongoing support. Thanks for coming along with us on this van life adventure. Please take a second to hit the like button below, leave a comment to let us know you're watching, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget, you can also connect with us and see my photos of the places we visit on our Facebook and Instagram.